What up, though, y'all? It's Chris. Appreciate you connecting with me while I get these steps in this morning, downtown Detroit. Let's go. Let's talk about growing up fatherless. I recently saw Kirk Franklin. He was talking about how, he grew up without his father, and it really wasn't his father that was trying not to be around. It was his mama that kept his father away, which I thought that was very interesting, because it really made me wonder how often this is the case, and it's just not really talked about. So he found this out. I think he managed to get in touch with his father some sort of way, and his father just gave him his side of events, telling them what happened on his end, how it was never him just not wanting to be around, and his mother, intentionally kept him away. And so he confronted his mother. He went and he confronted his mother, and his mother did not deny any of it. And that was just wild to me, man. So that just goes to show you, some of these single mothers, man, the way they be moving is foul. They will leave a man because they don't want to be under his headship. They don't want to obey no man. They think they don't need no man, or whatever it is. They will leave a man. They would rather struggle by themselves and lie to their son or daughter, just lie to their kids, period, and tell them that, oh, your father just left, your father just walked out on us. They would rather tell them that than admit it's their fault why they're struggling. So victim mentality is real, because, surely you don't get that same sympathy when you tell, we're struggling because I made a poor decision. We're struggling because I decided to leave the man that I had kids with, because I decided to break up our family. That's not going to get you likes. That's not going to get you your post hearted and shared. Only through painting yourself a victim do you get that. So I find it very fascinating, the depths that some of these women will go to protect their reputation. She was going to let this man believe. Now, this was a story that's like 50 years in the making, and she never said anything. He only is learning the truth because of him confronting her. She was going to let this man believe that his father just ain't want him for the rest of his life. She was going to go to her deathbed. Okay, she's not dying now, but you get what I'm saying. Let me fix this for the glare. She's not dying now, but the point that I'm making is that she would have died and taken that knowledge with her. She never was going to be honest with him and tell him what really happened. That she left his father wasn't abusive or a substance abuser or any of those sorts of things. She just decided to leave because she wanted to be strong and independent. And it makes a better narrative for herself and protects her reputation if she just tries to make up something about him, or does make up something about him and uses that as, well, this is why I left. So that's just wild, man. Y'all, for those of you who your father's not around, I don't know your story. Only you know your story, because it's your life. You only know what you've been told, though. Just keep that in mind. I'm not saying your mom is a bad person. I'm not saying that your mom lied to you or is purposely deceiving you. I'm not saying any of that. What I will say is this: find out what your father's side of the story is. All right. Your mom loves you. Your mom cares for you. So I'm not going to suggest at all that your mom is deceiving you in any way, shape, or form. I'm saying, find your father, make contact with him if you can. If he's still around, if you could find a number for him, if you can write him a letter, whatever. If you can find some way to make contact with him and he's willing to sit down and talk with you, get his version of the story of what happened. It may surprise you. Kirk Franklin was not expecting to get the version of events that he got. I can tell you that. He in that interview, he was definitely, I think it might have been on Club Shay Shay, where he was talking to where this clip is from. The way he was talking, you could truly hear how like he was still stunned as he's telling the story. It's like he's reliving, learning about it all over again. It was still very surreal to him, you could tell. So get your father's version of the story. It may surprise you, it may not. Your mother might be telling you 100% facts of what happened. He could be a bum that just left y'all or whatever, but you don't know for sure. So I'm urging you that if possible, get his side of the story, listen to him. Certain blanks may be filled in that is like, Now, it may not be as bad as Kirk Franklin's situation. Your mom might be telling half the truth, and he's just telling half the truth. But you can listen to what he's saying and listen to what your mom's saying and kind of, puzzle piece together a version of events, a timeline that makes sense. But in his case, man, his mama did him bold, with just the fact that, she let him believe something that just flat out was false for so long. So again, y'all, there's two sides to every story. We know this is a very cliche saying. We know this to be true. There's two sides to every story. I mean, some say it's three sides. There's his side, there's her side, then there's what really happened. But at the very least, there's two sides to every story. I'm not saying that the version of events you've been told is wrong. I'm just saying find out what both sides are and kind of come to your own conclusion on what happened and what didn't. Certain things that may never have made sense to you, that you just never challenged, they may start making sense now when you've heard both sides of the story, when you've heard the retelling, the recount from both parties involved. So, do that. I really do think that this is something that happens a lot more frequently than what we like to believe, because we live in a society where it's like, just believe all women, and don't ever challenge anything. If she says he left, he was a bum, just believe her. And we got to stop doing that. We got to start giving everybody an opportunity to tell their side of the story. We be so quick to not want to believe somebody, to not want to like them, to believe they were a bum, a loser, whatever. We're so quick to do that we don't even give people a chance to explain themselves. So we have to stop doing that. If you've been somebody who's been doing this just in your everyday life, use this as an example of why you shouldn't do that anymore. So if your father's still around somewhere and you have a way of getting in touch with him and you just haven't because you're holding on to some ill feelings towards him based on what your mother told you, I'm not saying those feelings aren't valid or reasonable. Based on the information that you've been told, they absolutely are valid, they absolutely are reasonable. But get his side of the story. Don't spend years and years and years or decades even hating his guts for something that may not even be accurate. So appreciate y'all, man. Like this video, leave me them comments, subscribe. I'ma holla at y'all soon. Peace.